You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down, guys? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Today's episode, guys, boy, do we have a decent show today. Nintendo Direct. We're going to be breaking down some Nintendo Direct February stuff. I'm so happy. This is probably the best Nintendo Direct yet. Had a couple decent ones, you know what I mean? But this one here just took the fucking cake, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. Also going to talk about some shit that's going on in these Dragon Ball streets. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about it. I mean, I've heard about it for quite some time, actually, but I just now decided to talk a little bit about that, and I'm talking about the whole Vic Mignogna situation that's been going on, man. I mean, just when you thought you were safe as an anime fan from, scandals and things of that nature, I guess it rears its ugly head and lets you know that no matter where you go, no matter where you are, you cannot hide from it. I mean, it's everywhere now, especially with social media so prevalent and all of this shit. You can't run from any of this stuff, man. I guess shit happens. I'm going to get into that and from, what I think, of the situation. I'm going to get into that as well later. Yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Anthem. The reviews are out, and it pretty much confirms what, I was talking about last week about the game, how hype I was for the game, but also having to be real with myself when it comes to, should I not? And, listening to those facts in my head and not letting my heart lead me down a path of disappointment, buyer's remorse, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying that, I will never play the game. I'm just saying that right now, as it stands, it's not worthy of a buy right now. And I'll get into that. I'm going to talk about that. I spoke a little bit about it last week. You guys know if you listened to last week's podcast, but from newcomers and people who are just now, listening to the show, something new for your mind. Also, man, the shit that's been going on with Activision Blizzard, if you want to call it that, and what they've done recently, it is fucking atrocious, and it's pretty fucking sad, man. And it just goes to show you, the demons and the thirsty, fuck boys out here in the video game industry. I mean, in every industry, in every, multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar company, you're going to experience these things. You're going to see these things. And, now it's becoming more and more, more and more prevalent. I mean, you see it everywhere now, and they did some pretty fucked up shit. I'm going to talk about that as well, man. Where to begin? Where should I begin? You know what? Let's start here. Let's start on Activision and Blizzard, because this is something that, it bothered me when I heard about this, man. The business practices that they were doing, and what's so fucked up about it is, nothing is going to change the scenario. All right. Now, there's been, a lot of people out here calling for the CEO's head of Activision Blizzard, and supposedly because the business practices that these guys are doing right now are just low ball. It's low as fuck. And the example I'm going to give you guys is not even an example. This is what happened, from what I gather. They technically fired around 775 people right after they announced one of their most profitable fucking, years, which was, I want to say, $1.8 billion. So they announced that they made all this money, a record amount of it, and then they turn right around and fire 775 people. And people got upset, man. The game developers all over the world. There was some kind of petition out here, for people, trying to get the CEO dropped. And the sad realization of it all is he's not going to get fired. He's going to be there. And the reason is because all the shareholders and everybody who's got stock in this company, they're making money. He's making them money. So basically that's his job. His only job is to make them money. And he's doing that. And, no matter, they don't care how he does it. And that's the sad thing about it. A lot of companies, most companies, they don't look at it the way we look at it. You know what I mean? They look at, okay, it's all about the money. Whatever we got to do to make more money, that's what we're going to do. So basically making this huge profit, firing all these people, of course, is going to net them more money. That means more bonuses for, the execs and so on and so forth, man. So the people who actually are responsible for making this money, making the games, creating the content, putting in those long ass hours, because we all know, and if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, game developers, they fucking work their asses off, man. Their schedules are crazy, and they do all this to deliver a game to a consumer. And most of these guys who are in this field are actually gamers themselves. So, I mean, they're for the people. You know what I mean? So when I hear shit like this and I see news like this, it makes me kind of sick to my stomach, man. And when you look at the company, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And then, it's going to turn a lot of people off. They are going to, I do see them losing some sort of, they're going to lose something behind this. They're not going to go broke. Let's keep it real with each other. They're making so much money. They're not going to go broke. And a lot of people who, excuse me, buy these games, they're not like me and you guys out here listening. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're casual gamers. They're not into the news, the behind the scenes of the gaming community and all of these things. They're going to play what they hear in the street is hot right now, like Fortnite and, right now Apex Legends is coming up, right? They're going to do that type of stuff. They're not, they don't care about developers as a whole in general. You know what I mean? Like they can't name, 3 game developers. I don't think, you have to be, a actual, diehard gamer like me and excuse me, once more, and others out here. You know what I mean? So they're going to make the majority of their money off of those types of consumers. You know what I mean? People who parents are shopping for their children and, or you see something, a commercial of a game or whatnot, not the niche titles and, all of that type of stuff. So that's kind of how it is. So in other words, the hit that they take will not be much of a dent, if you will, but it's a first step to something that, can, move change in the future. You know what I mean? And all it takes is the people. If the people get behind people and more people get behind more people, then, these things could actually change. Like I said, when you start to threaten the money, when you get to the money of it all, and when you start affecting that, that's when the shit will happen. That's when people will start, making changes. That's when you see a lot of wet armpits and wet foreheads running around the office, making changes as soon as they can. You know what I mean? And that's going to be the only way. Other than that, man, I mean, I don't know. But it's just a sad day for those workers. My heart goes out to all of those developers. If you're listening or if you're not, or if you know somebody who's been at the wrong end of something like this, man, keep your head up, keep living your dream, and eventually, it will get better. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, that's what's going on right now with Activision Blizzard right now. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Next, I want to talk about this Dragon Ball thing that everybody is talking about, and as a major Dragon Ball fan, as somebody who, who's been a Dragon Ball fan for over 25 years, it's crazy, man. It's crazy when you hear shit like this. The voice of Broly, his name is Vic Mignogna, And apparently there's been some shit going on where he's a really, really touchy-feely type of guy. And this, dates back years, different signings and different events that have been held in the past. And he, has been known to, hug a lot. He's a hugger. Those are his words. He likes to hug. A lot of pictures you'll see that. And apparently somebody came out, and this took place. This is something that happened some years ago, but they came out on social media talking about how, the way he was hugging her, it made her very, very uncomfortable. And then it kind of sparked a finger fest. That's the only word I could, sum it up as. And where people just started coming out saying shit. Other, fans posting pics and on Twitter. And then you had the other voice actors starting to talk. You had the voice actor of Bulma right now, the current voice actor of Bulma, come out and basically say that, it's happened to her. He's done it to her before in the past. And, she gave him a chance to, rectify it. A couple weeks went by and then she started hearing that it continued. I don't know if she just wanted him to stop hugging people or what. I don't know. But apparently this is what we're dealing with right now. Now, the fucked up thing about this whole story is that, he's done. They pretty much fired him from Funimation. He's no longer the voice actor of Broly, and he also had a role in Full Metal Alchemist, man. Also a great series. And he also was working for Rooster Teeth, a company based out of Texas. They have a pretty dope business. I fuck with Rooster Teeth, but man, I don't know about this. And if you don't know, in the state of Texas, you can be fired your employer can fire you from anything. He or she doesn't have to give you a reason to let you go. And, basically he lost all his jobs, everything he's fucking had. They cut ties with him behind this shit. And what makes it fucked up is the fact that there hasn't been any, filings with the police. There hasn't been any legal, stipulations or anything like that apparently violated by him. They're just accusations by people claiming that they were uncomfortable by the way he, was hugging them. And that sparked up, this witch hunt, if you will. Now, who knows if he really did it or not? I mean, I'm not sitting here and saying that, I'm Team Vic or anything like that. I'm neutral. I'm on the fence because I don't really know what the fuck is going on, man. I'm hearing he said, she said, and it seems like right now on the outside looking in, just looking at everything, it seems like, man, a lot of people have turned on, the voice of Bulma and turned on the voice of Goku. There was a tweet that he did, and I guess he was defending her, and he said something about, he said a sentence. He said, "I'm going to have her back. I've known her for over 20 years, yada, yada, yada." And at the end, he put the whole word assholes there, basically saying, "Don't stop fucking with her, leave her alone." And then assholes. And then the tweet, he put another tweet out and the assholes was erased off of there. And then that tweet was gone. So like pulling back tweets and doing all this stuff. Then he went back and apologized for it. He's getting a lot of flack right now. A lot of people claim that he's an asshole, a diva, or whatever. You know what I mean? Out here in these anime streets. Like I said, I really don't know. But whenever you're at a workplace and you work with a lot of people, man, there's gonna be people you don't like. There's gonna be people you disagree with, and they're just gonna be assholes sometimes. Some people are just assholes and bitches, man. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. And that's just the way it is. And I guess it goes the same for, voice actors, in that field. But what's so funny about this whole thing also is the fact that there's people who are pulling up old pictures, and not that old of pictures, with, Vic and the voice of Bulma together having a great grand old time. Like nothing has ever been wrong. And there's somebody who even pulled up a pic of I don't know her fucking name. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't, I know her name, but I can't think of it right now. But anyway, the voice actor of Bulma, there was a picture with her, with her arms around a fan and basically kissing her on the cheek. You know what I mean? Same thing Vic is supposedly known out here in these anime streets for doing. but she's doing the same thing. And I guess, I don't know. No one took offense to that. I'm not sure how that goes, but apparently, he's not a liked guy. He doesn't have a lot of friends, supposedly, behind the scenes as far as all the voice actors are concerned. But I'm kind of complexed and confused by that because I'm seeing other pictures of him with the cast and everybody's having a great time. Everybody's doing whatever, especially, pictures with, him and the voice actor of Bulma. So I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure this. I'm the kind of guy that is like, okay, give me the facts first, especially when you're dealing with, shit like this. Apparently it can't be bad enough to, warrant an arrest or anything like that because, if that was really the case, he would be there right now. I really, truly believe that. I don't know if they're going through the process of filing anything right now and the police just and the authorities haven't gotten to it yet or what. But as of right now, none of that stuff has been filed. And I'm like, look, where's the proof at? Show me that he's done this, or he's violated somebody or did something like, let's find out what the facts before this happens. But, they fire first, ask questions later. You know what I mean? And I find that to be kind of fucked up. And I say that because, man, it's not due process. But like I said, if you own a business and you have an employee, by law, I mean, especially, and we're talking about Texas here, I mean, you don't have to have an excuse to let somebody go. I mean, they could come into work on Monday and you don't have to like the lunch that they ate and fire them behind that and make it happen. Now, people can sue and there can be counters. And if I was him, that's the direction I'd be looking into right now. Because I'm like, look, everybody just basically turned their back on me, cut my throat behind unproven allegations. You know what I mean? A lot of these things are unproven. People are saying this, people are saying that. But, like I said, until all the facts come out to the light, nobody's really going to know the exact thing. He could be a straight asshole. He could be doing all these things that they say he's doing and then some. And until that happens, until we get word of that and find out, right now I'm at a neutral stand. I believe in, keep his job until, we prove that, you're unworthy to be here. But at the same time, you got to look at it like, I guess you can look at it this light. You're a company owner and somebody's doing some shit, or you're hearing something out here in these streets about one of your employees doing some shit, and you talk to him and he tells you, no, that's not true. That's wrong. And when you find out about that, you have a decision to make. So basically you're like, okay, people are going to be looking at me sideways if, I don't do anything about this. So you got people making allegations towards an employee of mine and he's still sitting here working here. That's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation, technically. So basically you have to make a decision. So they gambled, they rolled the dice, they let him go and they said, we're going to do this, let him go. And, hope that the evidence just comes through, because if it doesn't, and if it has no merit, then that's where the problem is going to, rear its ugly head, because then there's counter issues that can happen. Like I said, he could turn around and sue him, and then, for firing him for whatever. And if it's proven in court, it can go either way. It's a very slippery slope, man, talking about this subject, because there's a lot of things, a lot of gray areas here. And, you could look at it from different ways, and you could kind of have your own stance on it, and you wouldn't be wrong or right in either way you looked at it. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's so gray right now, but I had to speak on it because, everybody else is speaking on it. And, that's how I feel about it. I just wanted to, put my opinion on the podcast. And, for somebody who's listening to it, from a Dragon Ball fan who, that's a big part of my world, for somebody who's into it like I am. I felt that it was important to you guys to, say something about it. And I have, and that's where I stand on it right now. I know there's a lot of fans out there who are Broly fans, and, like I said, they just reintroduced Broly. And and what's so crazy is, Broly is, I don't see him going anywhere. I see I see him sticking around. So I mean that livelihood that's gone, and a lot of Brawley fans are going to be upset behind that, and whatever else he's doing, there's a lot of fans that are behind him. There's a lot of people out there who are supporting him, who are, upset about this whole debacle, this whole situation. But there's others who are completely the opposite. So it's like that's what I'm talking about when I get into gray areas. Until all the facts, everything comes out, then that's where we're at. Because we live in an age in today's day where, all it takes is an accusation on anything and you can be fucked. You're done. Even if it wasn't true. And the damage is done before it can be, reversed. I mean, you see all these cases with, people claiming false claims on other people, and then they get fired or whatever. And then later on, maybe a year or two later, they find out that it was falsified, but the damage has already been done. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm anxious to see how this is going to turn out, though. Really, really anxious. So I will keep you guys filled in. If you guys know anything or hear anything, hey, let me know. Hit me, inbox me. You know what I mean? On Twitter at Studio MacGyver, or shit, you can even hit me up on Instagram, Studio MacGyver79. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this, for real. All right, guys. Next I want to talk about Crackdown 3. All right. Yeah, this is out of left field. I kind of know that. I feel some type of way about this, man, because it's crazy how game companies are just so blind. I feel like sometimes they're so dumb. Like they really they have no common sense. They don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes. Some of these decisions that they make. But Crackdown came out and, it's a flop. Let's just keep it real. Let's just put our money on the table. It's a fucking flop. Okay. IGN gave it a 5.0. That's just one review, but many more reviewers out there have pretty much shitted on this game. And what makes it so bad is the fact that it took so fucking long for these guys to make this game. Let me just say to all the Xbox One owners, anybody who fucks with Microsoft, man, I'm from the bottom of my fucking heart. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I really am. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I'm at a funeral right now. That's how it feels. I feel like I'm going to walk up to a coffin, and I'm going to see, an Xbox One in there with roses on on top of it. And, man, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's over. Okay. This generation, this console, this current console for Xbox, it's over. It's taking too many L's. Let's just mark it and let's charge it to the game and let's just move on. It's over. Okay. And what's so fucked up about this game, and I watched the review, and, they hired Cruz for the main protagonist of the game or whatever, and he did his thing. He did his thing, man. But the game was way below, they could have just got a generic black dude and put him in here. And that's what they should have done. Cause I feel bad for even him in the game, but it was just the mechanics of the game where you have to it's just basically lock on and shoot, unlock, lock on and shoot, unlock, lock on and shoot, wash, rinse and repeat. Man, the gameplay just looked so bland to me. I swear to God it did. For somebody who, made everybody wait 3+ years for this game and to deliver this, all the fucking delays, all the fucking time that everybody was waiting on this game. And when you finally get it, you unravel a piece of crap. I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, is this what Scalebound sacrificed itself for? Is what I want to say. Scalebound was a game that I really felt that Xbox had in their pocket. And they could have taken this IP and did some really good things with it. I really truly believe that. They could have taken it to the next gen consoles and did something. Who knows? Maybe they still are. I don't know. But as of right now, they fucked a lot of people with that game, and that's a Platinum Games title. I'm going to get into Platinum Games later on. Platinum Games is one of my favorite game developers. They're up there. They're like in the top 5 for me. They have a lot of dope shit they currently did, and they have a lot of shit that is coming out that I cannot wait to get my hands on, and I'm definitely going to get into that. But I'm trying to figure out what the fuck went wrong with that. I would love to know what happened with that title. Like, what really happened? Why the fuck was it canceled? The real reason. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to do some digging on that and maybe even do a show on that, or even do like a video on that, because that's crazy. That game had so much promise. That game made me want to buy an Xbox. And that's the only game that made me want to buy an Xbox besides Killer Instinct. But that's it. And that's all. Xbox doesn't have many games to make you want to, exclusives that make you really want to, do something, with them. I mean, they have a couple, but they don't have a lot. They don't have, Gears of War is another one that was dope that I used to love in the 360 days. But other than that, man, what do you have? I think they've realized that, it's over. I think they realized that, let's move on to the next console, because they've already, made relationships with a lot of these prominent game developers who were fucking with Sony, on this console generation. And now, they're shaking hands with these guys now for the next console. And they should have done that in the past. I mean, I don't know why they waited so long, now, but I mean, I guess better late than never. It may be too late though, for a lot of people, because a lot of people might just say, well, when the PlayStation 5 comes out, as well, guess which one I'm leaning towards. And I'm one of those people. Like, I got to go with Sony, because Sony has proven themselves, over this PlayStation 4's life cycle. It's proven itself over and over and over again, and it's still proven itself. It's not even done. So I have to go there. And, all the relationships that Sony has, man, they just have some excellent relationships, man, on a lot of different IPs, and they do their thing. And that's the choice I'm going to make. And, I think there's a lot of people who are so hurt by, the Xbox One, that when it's time to remake that decision, they feel like they'll be making the same mistake twice, and they're not going to buy, a Microsoft product again. They're going to go with Sony, or Nintendo, or maybe even Google, if that's true, and they are coming out with a system. You know what I mean? But that's another story. The fact is, Microsoft dropped the ball. And this game here proves it, because this was a title that a lot of people were waiting for, and when it came out, man, it was just so lackluster. It just makes me so happy that I don't have an Xbox One. I'm so serious. My son, he loves his Xbox though. But like I said, I'm not putting anybody down. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not putting anybody down who chose Xbox One, because it's not your fault. And there's games that, that you enjoy, that I'm sure that you guys are enjoying, I'll put it like this. If you enjoy your games, whatever it is that you play, more power to you. If you're not affected by what's been going on, then it's all good. Keep moving. Do your thing. I'm happy for you. I'm talking about the people who have been burned by Microsoft. People like me who are who are really, really, gamers for real. Like, check my Instagram. I'm about that life. I live and breathe video games. I have for so many years, and I'm not going to stop. And, when you're somebody like that, you're going to research, you're going to make sure you know the ins and outs, all the nooks and crannies of this industry. At least you're going to try to, and to make the right decisions for your money, because, nobody's out here, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich by any stretch. So, every penny that I have to spend on games, I'm going to make sure that it's worthy of that, which is, something I want to talk about when it comes to Anthem. I'm going to get into that. But I had to give you guys, a rundown of how I feel about Microsoft, and really how I feel about the fans of Microsoft. I feel bad for you guys. And I hope that, you don't feel the sting. I hope that all your games that you have, you enjoy them all, and you're not worried about, other consoles or whatever. And that's good. I mean, that's a good place to be in if you are in that place. But for the people who are not, and I know personally firsthand that there are lots and lots that aren't, my heart goes out to you guys. And hopefully when it's time to make a new selection going forward, when the PlayStation 5 comes out and the new Xbox, whatever they're calling it, and or whatever else is out there, you make the right decision. Do your research. You know, you don't have to necessarily go out and get the system day one. You know what I mean? You can sit back like I usually do for every system and wait a good, 6 months to a year before you make that decision, because, take a look at the games, take a look at the interfaces and how everything works, and then make that decision. Yeah, man. Which brings me to Anthem real quick. Anthem, I want to talk real quick. The reviews are out here, and it's not good. It's not very good. People are basically saying that it's fun at times, but then at other times it's just, all in all, after about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, it's wash, rinse, and repeat. It's bland. There's no real story, and you're just done. And to progress through the game, there's things that you have to do where you have to go out and you have to play online sometimes. Like, you can't, if you want to get to certain areas of the game, you have to go out and do all these things, these chores that they actually do. And one of them includes, playing online with teams and going out here and doing these things, getting these pieces of loot and so on and so forth. And free roam is basically just you fly around until you hear somebody hit you on your radio, tell you, hey, look, go pick this up, or we need this, and da 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 da. And you go do that stuff, man. And I was afraid that it was going to come to that day one. Now here's what I think. This is what I think about Anthem right now. This is what I really truly think. I think Anthem is going to potentially be a pretty good game. I just don't think it's going to be that right now. And like I said, it's going to be brand new. There's not going to be a lot to do once you get to the end game, and you're just going to be waiting. So for me to spend $64 and some change on a title like that, and there's other ones out there that I could choose from or save my money for and purchase instead, that's when you got to make decisions. And that's why, Anthem is not going to be bought from me day one. Now, maybe 6 months down the line, when new updates are here and there's more to do, that's when, Anthem will come back around. And then by then, hopefully, you can get you a nice little discount on it as well. You might be able to pick it up for $40. You know what I mean? And maybe even 30, depending on how hard and how fast it hits rock bottom. You know what I mean? But I'm praying for Anthem though. I'm not wishing for its downfall. I'm praying for it. Even though it's, got a certain company behind it. Yeah. I'm still hoping that this game does well, because, it's a beautiful game graphically. It's just, they need some more development, I think. I feel story-wise, and they need more things to do. You know what I mean? Which is why The Division 2 looks so enticing to me, because it's compared to the last one, you can tell that these guys made major changes and overhauls to the last game. They took all those things into consideration by the gamers, and they basically, they're acting on it. And whenever you see anybody making that effort to do something, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. When you see a game that came out a year before, and then they come out with another gear and it's just slightly tweaked or whatever, I mean, you could tell like, oh, that's cash grab. That is a straight up cash grab if I haven't seen one. And some things get stale too, So I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to The Division 2. That's where I would like to spend my money, on an online game. That's probably if I had to choose an online only game, that's one there. You got a 40-hour campaign, and the game doesn't really get nice and cozy to you until you finish, the campaign, or hit level 30. So there's so much to do after you hit that plateau. So that's why I'm going there. And then the experience that I had with the first one, be it was a flawed game, and but we still had so many hours doing so many great things in that game. It was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to March for that. All right. Last but not least, guys. Last but not fucking least, I want to talk about Nintendo Direct. Yes, Nintendo Direct was excellent. It was one of the best Nintendo Directs I can remember seeing, and it really got me to thinking. Nintendo is on the come up right now, man. They got some shit percolating out here in these streets, and they dropped some bombshells in on me and a lot of other people out here, man. I mean, I'm so serious. Here's some of the things that I'm going to touch up on that I saw that I really, really got excited about, man. Okay, there's so many. A lot of people are, you got Super Mario Maker 2 coming. That's a big one, and it's not just a slight change to the first one. No, this one is looking to be really, really, really in depth. You actually got mountains that you can actually form now in these levels. It looks beautiful. It looks breathtaking. I know somebody who likes customization and building stuff, man. I would probably lose half my life playing this. I'm serious. I'm one of those. Some people like to just play the different levels. I'm one of those guys who would like to actually make them, play them too. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, I love to sit down and customize until I can't customize anymore. But Final Fantasy VII, it's coming in March. All right. I mean, the original Final Fantasy VII. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be pleased. Final Fantasy IX is out right fucking now. They announced it, during Nintendo Direct, which is crazy. That's already out. They got Assassin's Creed 3 remastered coming. They got Yoshi's Crafted World. You can actually go download the demo right now. All you Yoshi fans, hey man, let's get it. Let's get it. Dragon Quest Builder 2. I mean, Daemon X Machina. There's a demo out now. I have it. I actually downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to play it. I will definitely play it this week and let you guys know next week what I thought of it, because this is a game that I was looking forward to. I'm really digging the graphical, art style of it. And, yeah, man, this is an art style that's, you don't see a lot. And I'm really, really, enjoying the art style, but I will definitely play it this week and I will get back to you guys on that. But yes, that's out now. If you guys have a Switch, check out the demo right now, man. Let's see what else we got here. Fire Emblem, 3 Houses, Box Boy and Box Girl. Those games were, that was probably the weakest title that they had, But Tetris 99, this is something different. And all this is, when I saw this though, I was like, this Nintendo trying to get people to jump on and get that online subscription. Because Tetris 99 is basically, if you love Tetris, I do love me some Tetris. But basically, it's where you go up against 99 different players, and who can get the highest score and who can get, the ranking. So that kind of thing is pretty dope. They've also announced that a lot of their, upcoming games, especially online games, are going to be trying to, deliver native voice chat. To a lot of these games, they're going to be native voice chat ready, kind of like what they did with Fortnite for the Nintendo Switch, and kind of like what they're doing with Warframe. Those 2 games I just named already have native voice chat in their games, so you do not need to be online. You don't have to have Nintendo's online subscription to use it, and you don't have to use that app on that fucking app, whatever that is, to talk to other players. Okay, you just plug in your mic, and there you go. And that's good news, man. And hopefully Nintendo, gets the hint and wakes up and decides to do away with that fucking app and, just start doing native voice chat on everything. You know what I mean? It would make life so much better. And I think they're going to move in that direction. I think slowly but surely, because they got to get with the times, man. Especially if you're going to make games where like Smash Brothers and things like that, where people are going to be wanting to join parties and things of that nature, man. You gotta get on that boat. You know what I mean? That's why I have not bought the online subscription yet, because I can't do it right now, man. I need to have that native voice chat. So the games that I do play, I don't play Fortnite, but I play some Warframe though. And, it is what it is. But they need to get with that. But like I said, Nintendo has come a long fucking way. Cause I remember on some of my early podcasts, man, when the Switch first came out, I went in, because it was so much that they were just trying to capitalize on what they were giving you now, and people were just so hype just to get the game now that they weren't trying to hear anything else, man. And Breath of the Wild was definitely, it's definitely a great game. I understand why people might have felt starstruck when they played that, because I'm still playing that game. Excellent game. I mean, I love Breath of the Wild, so I understand that part. But still, here's really the meat and potatoes to me when it comes to this Nintendo Direct. Zelda Link's Awakening is a game that they're bringing back. Now, a lot of people were kind of turned off by the art style. It's kind of like a chibi type of art style. They weren't really looking for that kind of art style. But me personally, I don't see anything wrong with the art style. I actually, dig that. And I'm going to be playing this game, when it comes out eventually. I'm not saying I'm gonna get it day one, but I am going to be, picking that one up. But the game of the show, the game that stole my heart and stole a lot of people's hearts because it was all over the internet. I mean, is a game that goes by the name, and I'm pausing like a motherfucker, but it's called Astral Chain. Okay. Astral Chain. Developed by who? Who? I said who? Platinum Games, baby. Platinum Games. Okay. They keep on coming, man. They keep surprising me. And I'm just like, God damn it, Platinum Games. Well, what else are you going to drop? You know what I mean? Which brings me back to, Microsoft. Like, what happened behind the scenes that Platinum Games, a synonymous game developer, what happened for them to have this game canceled? Like, who was responsible for this? Man, I swear to God, once I finish recording, I'm going to do some research. I know there's somebody out here that's done a video or videos on this said subject. I just know it. Like, what happened to this game, man? Because back in the day when it first got canceled and was announced, like, you couldn't find shit on what happened. Like, everything was buttoned up. It was like a fucking top secret government file lost in the sauce, and nobody knew what happened. You know what I mean? And, I hope some things resurface since then, and then I can get my hands on what happened. But Platinum Games is such a talented company and game developer, man, that, it makes you wonder. But when I saw Astral Chain, I mean, I fucking lost my shit. It was about a two minute, I guess, commercial, if you want to call it a commercial, trailer. And it was pure genius, pure epicness. You're like on some kind of police force, man. It looks kind of like Crackdown with open. It actually looks to be open world too. Like man, I don't know, but the game looks fucking awesome, man. It's an action, looks like an action, open world action type of game. Maybe with some RPG elements in there, it looks, I can't even describe what I actually saw. You guys would have to take a look at it. If you haven't looked at this game, go look at the trailer. It's a 2-minute trailer. It's called Astral Chain. It's by Platinum Games. And if you're not familiar with Platinum Games, let me give you a little history lesson on Platinum Games, which is they're responsible for one of my favorite games of all time on the Nintendo Wii, which was Mad World. If you guys don't know about Mad World, Google Mad World. It's 2019. Mad World came out in 2009, and it would be perfect for them to drop a 10-year anniversary, HD version of Mad World on the Switch. I hope to God that they bring this game back. I really hope to God they bring this game back to Switch. This is one game I want to add to my Switch library. I love that fucking game. But let me give you a list of some games that these guys are responsible for, man. Nier Automata, Transformers Devastation, Vanquish on the PlayStation. Oh my God, that game is so fucking raw. Scalebound, which was canceled. Okay, Astral Chain, which you already know. Bayonetta 3, and another game that I am highly, highly anticipating coming out for the PlayStation 4 exclusively, Grand Blue Fantasy. And you guys have heard me talk about this game before on the podcast. I've talked about it on my YouTube channel. I am hyped for this fucking game. This RPG open world fucking game. It's beautiful. But yes, these are just a few of the games that they are responsible for. And Astral Chain has been added to that list. And when you watch the trailer, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anything Platinum Games does for the most part, man, is going to kick you in the teeth. You're going to feel it. Okay. And they're going to take you on an epic adventure. They're going to take you on a fucking ride. You know what I mean? So this is the game that I cannot wait to play. It comes out at the end of August. I think August 30th. So you might as well just say September. I'm just saying September. But this game is the one that it's already paid for. Like this game is, it's here. It's already paid for. And I love the fact that they do stuff for different, they do things for different, companies. They don't do just Nintendo. They don't do just Sony. Like, they do some for exclusive to others. Like, Grand Blue Fantasy is exclusive to PlayStation 4, but they also are doing stuff for Nintendo. So you see what I'm saying? And then the stuff that they do for Xbox is really a AAA, and they do it for everybody. It's an all around type of thing. But the only exclusive that that I can think of that they've done for for Microsoft was going to be Scalebound. That was it. That was all, man. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what the fuck? Because that IP looked fucking good. It looked excellent. And I don't think, call me crazy, call me batshit crazy, but I don't think we've seen the end of Scalebound, man. I think Microsoft is saving that game, saving that IP for the next gen console. I really do. I really truly believe that. Or they're going to sell it and give it to somebody else. But I don't think we've seen the last of Scalebound. I mean, all that work, because that game looked halfway done, even more so. So, what's going on with that? I really need to know. But yeah, man, that's my take on, that was my take on the Nintendo Direct. It was a great one. Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX. I mean, goddamn, what else is there to say? I'm going to get my hands on the Daemon X Machina demo. I'm going to play that. You know what I mean? Fire Emblem. I mean, come on, Astral Chain, Zelda's Link's Awakening, Tetris 99, and there's some more also. These are the ones that just kind of caught my eye, but there's so much more that they've announced. So Nintendo is on their shit now. They're on their shit and they're doing their thing. So you got some nice exclusives now coming out. I mean, you got some things coming up, man. I mean, Mario Maker 2, come on. I mean, and then not to mention, let's not even, Luigi's Mansion 3, Bayonetta 3, titles like that's coming out. We got some stuff coming. The only thing that I wish that, they'd give us is some Metroid something. Give me a Metroid something. We already know what happened with Metroid. If you guys don't know, the Metroid Prime 4 game is, it's not going to come out anytime soon. They basically scrapped it and they're starting from ground zero, to redo it. And we're not going to see a Metroid game for quite some time. Now, I would like to see, maybe an HD collection of, the other Prime games, and that's still not out of the question. That's still not out of the picture completely, but, it's definitely something that, could hit or miss. And I'm hoping it hits. Hopefully it does hit, because that way we could get our Metroid fix, and be cool until, the next one drops. That's just me, that's just a Metroid fan in me, talking right now. But never say never, like Justin Bieber, right? Yeah, man. That's pretty much the show, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out and downloading this episode or streaming this episode, listening. For all my listeners who have been listening to me for ever, or from day one, or just, for the last couple of weeks, man, thank you. I appreciate you all. And I love you guys as well. For the newcomers who are here, this is what we do is nerd culture. What we do is video games and anime. I mean, that's pretty much what, I talk about on the show. And, I love it. I love talking about these things. That's what I do in my personal time. You can catch me, pretty much 7 days a week, playing some kind of video game, maybe watching some sort of anime, into some sort of nerd culture, and it's all good. Before I let you guys go though, I have to add this, and I can't believe that, I was almost gonna leave this out of the podcast. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. It is late. It is 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, I got a late start. I had just crazy weekend. Didn't have time to do shit because I caught a fucking stomach virus from Sonic's. Yes, thank you, Sonic, for that nice stomach bug you gave me. That double burger that fucked me up for the weekend. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But yeah, man, it's all good. I'm almost out of the woods. Not quite there yet, but me and my daughter, man, we went to go check out Alita, Battle Angel, man. And when I tell you guys that movie was a 10 out of 10, I am not over exaggerating. That movie was excellent. That was a great fucking movie. And they set it up pretty fucking nice for a sequel, which is a good thing. And this is the first movie that I've seen in a long time because it's a 2-hour movie. This is the first movie that I've seen in a long time where when it was over, it didn't feel like 2 hours went by. It felt like, maybe an hour went by. Like I felt like it was still more to see. I didn't get antsy or when you sit in the movie theater for a certain amount of time, sometimes you kind of get the, looking at your phone like, man, what time is it? I've been here for, are we here yet? I never had that feeling. Never had that feeling. I got left wanting more. I could have sat in there for 3 hours. Great movie, man. I really enjoyed it. If you guys haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, go check that shit out, please. It's based off an anime and a manga series that you guys should definitely check out. Now that series, that movie has actually got me wanting to get into that series, wanting to find out more about this character and her ventures and her journey and stuff like that. And everybody was pretty cool in this movie too. I mean, there's not a lot of movies where anime adapts into a movie, a live action movie, and it come out good. There's a few, but there's not many. You know what I mean? Like the live action Dragon Ball movie, that's straight trash. You just have to know how to do it right, I guess. And it has to be a certain genre to make it look right as well, I guess you can say. And with this movie, they did everything right. I mean, this is a movie that I cannot wait for Blu-ray to come out because, I don't collect a lot of physical movies, but, I do have some that are just nostalgic to me and that are just, that just take me to another place when I watch them. And this is one of those movies that I have to add to my small, very, very small collection. I literally only have like maybe 5 or 6 movies, maybe like more, maybe closer to 10, but that's it. But this one is definitely going to be added to the list, man. Deservingly so. Love the movie. I gave it a fucking, 10 out of 10. One could argue 9.5 because, I just wanted more of it. But to me, this was one of the best movies I've seen in a long, long fucking time. And I just had to say that. And hopefully you guys see it too. And if you have seen it, I'd like to hear from you guys too. I want to know what you guys thought of it. What grade you gave it. Did you feel that it lived up to the hype or, because I was looking forward to watching this movie for like over a year when I first found out about it. And I am, so happy that I went to go see it. Might even go see it again. Kind of like what I did with Dragon Ball. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Had to mention that quick little, shindig of a movie. But yeah, like I said, to all my listeners out there, thank you guys for listening. And, just hang around with me, man, till next week. And we're going to dive into something else, man. We'll find out. There's going to be a lot of things going on, a lot of new releases and stuff like that coming up. So just stay tuned and holler at your boy, man. This has been a Studio MacGyver podcast. And you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast, baby. See you next time.